He comes into court. He looks all rough and tumble. They could have at least put him in a dress shirt or gotten him shaved or something. So I think he's got a little bit of problem. I think the jury might have looked at him a little bit skeptically. And it's important because this is a guy the defense is pointing at as a possible other person who did these crimes. So I would have been a little more careful with this witness, I think.
It's funny that, to your point, it looks like, and this was especially true on cross, that he just kind of stumbled into the room, like,
right.
I'm just wandering around and, hey, this looks like an interesting building. And he comes in there and next thing you know, he's on the stand and he's being asked questions that are somewhat uncomfortable. And that was certainly true when they got to cross. So, what does the prosecution need to do if they can't clean him up? In actuality, what do they have to do to make sure the jury doesn't get distracted by this guy as a possible defense argument, other suspect?
Well, I think the prosecution, if you can't clean up your witness, if your witness is doing a bad job, the thing you want more than anything is for it to just be over and to move on to the next thing. The prosecution's doing a good job in this case. They have a pretty coherent, a pretty compelling story about a guy who killed his ex-girlfriend's lover, maybe had her assistance getting rid of the body, then killed her some days later, wrapped both bodies in plastic wrap, took both bodies to burn pits. I mean, it's a really gruesome, pretty compelling story. And I think up to now, the prosecution's been in good shape. So I don't love this witness, but I don't know that he derailed the whole thing.
Yeah, and we're going to see when we see some of this cross-exam coming up. He's been the only witness on the stand today, and I keep, Richard, I keep talking about these moron criminals who think that burning a body is the answer, and then soon learn how impossible it is, and it creates bigger problems for them because I think in any jury's mind, if they find guilt, it doesn't help the feelings they might have that this person went above and beyond. They didn't just try to kill somebody; they tried to burn the body.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, it's a disturbing trend, right? We've seen burned bodies or attempts to burn bodies in a number of cases that have been covered on this network recently. And you're right, it doesn't work. They don't get rid of all the remains. It's almost impossible to get rid of all the remains. And it really, I mean, when you present those facts to a jury, not only was there a murder, which maybe it could have forgiven as kind of a heat of passion kind of thing, there's this, the act of taking it to a burn pit to try to get rid of the evidence is so horrendous. I don't know how a jury gets over that.
Yeah, I know. It's not a backyard barbecue. It's not a pizza oven. It's 3,000 degrees, continuous heat anyway. So let's